'Tis the season of Game Awards, and with all great Game Awards comes great disappointment in game choices. Like seriously, what the hell happened? Why aren't Armored Core 6 or Mario Wonder nominees for Best Soundtrack? Why is Alan Wake 2 in the nominees for Game of the Year? 𝘎𝘢𝘮𝘬, I don't find this funny one bit. But seeing the downward facing trend in the quality of nominees has led me to a rather intriguing question. What is happening? Well, I'll tell you what is happening. Non-gamers are infiltrating the ranks of the voting system, and that's why I propose a renewal of the Game Awards. Your vote will be weighed on how much of a gamer you are. But here's the actual intriguing question. How do you evaluate how much of a gamer someone is? Well, as I am the monkey oracle and I overlook all video games, I will start by clearly defining what a gamer is. And how much of a gamer you are is how closely you stick to that definition. A gamer is a person who plays video games. Okay, so it seems we need to define video games then. And consequently, a gamer is evaluated on how much video games you play. However, I use much because I mean the cumulative value of the games you've played individually, which is a continuous percent addition, not a count. So what modifies that percent? Modifier 1 mechanics. Put basically, if you play Scrap Mechanic for 10 hours straight, you are the highest form of gamer there is. Let me clarify. When I talk about mechanics, I don't just mean the difficulty. I'm also talking about the depth of the gameplay, the density of it, even the way your brain works while playing them. I feel like most people can agree Overwatch is a pretty gamer game. Each hero plays differently. Mercy requires less brains than Torbjorn. Reaper is a bronze character. Widowmaker gets outsniped by Roadhog. You know the gist. Now, Candy Crush, right? So if you have 1,000 hours on Overwatch instead of 1,000 hours on Candy Crush, this makes you objectively more gamer. Even if you're my trash bronze teammate, I will not place you in the same category as the 50-year-old Facebook mobs. Why is this? Well, because in mobile games, like Candy Crush, the only mechanics you could possibly require is, like, tapping, swiping, looking. Meanwhile, with a computer game like Overwatch, you have I don't even know how many different inputs, and then on top of that, you have to know exactly which one to use at the correct time to obtain the best outcome. There's no doubt, mechanically, you have to be more present for certain games over others. Modifier 2, variety. This one's pretty self-explanatory. This can be both in the gameplay and between different games altogether. Let's go back to my Candy Crush example. If you consider yourself a gamer because you have 1,000 hours in Candy Crush, 500 hours in Bejeweled, and 100 hours in HuniePop, then you are not necessarily a gamer. However, if you have 500 hours in Elden Ring, 250 hours in Subnautica, and 50 hours in Counter-Strike 2, well, you have half the total time, but the variety is there, and therefore you are more gamer. And when I talk about variety within the game itself, I mean that if you have 1,000 hours in, say, World of Warcraft, that means you have 900 hours of grinding, 70 hours of raiding, and 30 hours of loading screens. That is not an even distribution. Finally, modifier 3, critical thinking. If you can properly criticize the game you are playing, you get extra gamer points. This has nothing to do with the game you play, but it's important to consider what you are doing with the time you spend playing games. This alone is enough to disqualify IGN as being gamers. Saying every single game on planet Earth is good makes you not a gamer. The reason this has an effect on how gamer you are is because it means you played other games, since you need some sort of basis of what is good to be able to qualify something as good. This is why literal babies have some form of morality at birth. 𝘎𝘢𝘮𝘬, I won't charge you for my brilliant idea this time. I'm doing it out of good faith for all the loyal gamers out there. Also, keep in mind the 3 modifiers I named are not the only modifiers. They are just the most prominent ones that AAA game companies can't seem to get right nowadays.